Hello and welcome back to Newtyguitars, and today we're going to be looking at a mini pedal board that I use for small live shows. So I got this pedal board set up because my main board is quite big. It's got a multi-effects unit on it, a few drives, a booster, the amp foot switcher from clean to drive, and that because it's quite bulky you can't always use it on a lot of stages. So I got myself a smaller pedal board and put some pedals that I've accumulated over the years on it. It'll basically cover every single thing that you or I or anyone might need. It's quite basic, but it covers everything that you might need for your kind of general tones. Because I still use amp distortion, this doesn't have a drive pedal with it, distortion or overdrive, but you can add that in, and you'd put that right at the front of the pedal board after a tuner or straight from the guitar there. So let's show you what I have on here. So this is what I have. So normally at this end we would have a tuner, drive pedal, something like that, but because I use the amp distortion, I normally just have the foot switches kind of come in through here somewhere and then just have it out here. Okay, then that allows me to kind of change what I need. So a couple of Boss pedals, a couple of the TC electronics, and we've got a electro harmonics. So small stone phaser, quite a classic pedal. It's quite subtle, but it does the job. It's really good at what it is. The Dimension C, sorry, not Dimension C, the third Dimension TC electronic cores pedal is based off the Boss Dimension C. So you control the tone with these four buttons that we have right here. Next we've got the Echo Brain analog distortion. Again, pretty basic sort of setup. You've got your mix, so how wet the signal is, your time, so how fast the delays and repeats, number of repeats on there. Because it is an analog delay, the more repeats there are, the more gnarly it gets. Basically, it decays with the more repeats that you have, unlike a digital delay, which keeps them pretty consistent. Next, we have a Boss Digital Reverb RV5. So this is the older model now. I think the 6 is the most recent, but even that's like several years old at this point. But if I show you on here, so you've got things like your level, tone, time, and then you've got a knob on the end here that gives you the type of reverb. So spring, plate, hall, gate, room, or modulate. I have it set on a room reverb currently. No, I've got it on gate. I can't remember exactly why, but also this does have a stereo output. So if you're running 2 amps, you can have it go from side to side, but my setup isn't that fancy, so it's just one. And then we have something that everyone potentially needs if they're playing high gain. So this is a noise suppressor. Basically what it does is it cuts out unwanted hiss, hum, and just general noise, really. So on my main pedal board, I run 2 of these, one into the front and one through the effects loop. Otherwise, you can get pretty gnarly. And I tend to have that on quite a tight gate because we run really high gain on there. And for the tones on this, I'm going to be using my Jackson Jeff Loomis SL7 Soloist in black. It's always going to be black. It's a neck through guitar. I've done a video. Have I done a video on this yet? I think I have. I think it was my first one. So we're going to be running that straight into the front of the effects pedals, and then that's going to go straight into the front of a Blackstar HD5 amp that I use for practice. So the noise gate is on at the moment, and this is the clean tone. So just put in the middle pickup. Actually, I find that's best for this sort of thing. Roll down the volume a little bit. These pickups are super hot. So to start off, we've put on the small stone. So that can be controlled by the rate, colour switch. So rate is how fast that swoosh is. So this is slightly slow. We put that to about 3 o'clock. So very subtle. Whereas if we crank that up about here, we put that back to mid and just switch the colour. There we go. Okay, put that back to about there. So as you can see, it kind of has that wobble the more you turn it up. So next one, let's have a look at the chorus pedal. Put that on. So currently on this, I have, which ones are pushed in? I don't think any of these are. I think 2 and 3 are currently pushed in. So I like this, it's got that sort of 80s kind of vibe to it. But if we turn those off and just have it on all buttons up. Very subtle. Number 1. You can hear it on the top notes there. 2. 3. Then also you can do combinations thereof, so 1, 3 and 4. You can have all of them on. Or is that one on? No. You personally just quite like having 2 and 3 on, so. I quite like the sound of that. So for my analog delay, because it's set up for like a post post metal sort of delay, the repeats are quite low, time is about mid, and they've got a fairly low mix on it, so. So if we add on a couple more repeats, that's about here. Right, just going to stick some dirt on that. So you can hear there that the more delays are, the more it kind of like crunches up, which is quite cool. Really like that. Moving on to the reverb. Again, I've got it set to a fairly small reverb. I don't tend to have it on particularly high, otherwise it just destroys the tone if you got it up too high or the time's too long. But it depends really on what sort of effects you're looking to go for. I tend to keep mine with just like a little bit of, give it a bit of room more than anything. So again, if we just, the reason these are set up is that both of these are generally kind of used together. So bit of dirt back on. I should turn the mix up a little bit more on that. And more repeats, time. Okay. Yeah, the thing with these effects is that they don't sound a lot by themselves, but it's when you put them in a band live context, they sound quite different. It took me a while to kind of find the settings that really works well. Sometimes you'd be having quite a long delayed lead line because of the number of repeats, the amount of reverb that's on it. It just kind of gets lost. The reason I have it round this way is if you've got the Sing Machine coming in this way, you then coming in this way. When you have this on here, you're adding delay to your original guitar signal, and then you're adding the reverb onto those delays. Whereas if they were round the other way, you'd add reverb onto the guitar signal, and then you'd be adding delay onto those reverb repeats, which isn't necessarily wrong, it's just different. So everyone has different preferences from these. On one of my presets on my pedal, I have a delay, reverb, delay, and they're round that particular way for specific reasons, for specific songs. So I can put on, say, these two pedals here, if that's the delay then the reverb for one thing, and then I might have the reverb and the delay round for another more atmospheric part. And the best thing to do is just really experiment with these, but you can't really go wrong with a chorus, a delay, a reverb, and maybe some kind of phasing type modulation, a flanger, a phaser, something like that. And that'll pretty much cover everything that you really need. Again, there's so many different pedals out there. You don't need to buy expensive pedals to get good sounds out of them. More often than not, the expensive pedals are just, they might be hand wired in places with higher kind of labor costs, so might handmade in the USA, the EU, UK, that kind of thing, as opposed to things like the TC Electronics, which typically are made by the thousands in the Behringer factory. But also it's about the scarcity of it. So if someone really wants a pedal and it's uncommon, they'll be more likely to pay a premium for them, which doesn't necessarily mean it's a good pedal. It just means that someone's willing to pay over the odds for it. So yeah, you can get great tones out of small, cheap pedals, and you can get bad tones out of expensive pedals. It just depends on how you set them up and where you place them in the signal chain. But hopefully this video has given a bit of insight into the world of effects. I'll probably do a little bit more on each of these, a little bit more detail at some point in the future. What sort of pedals do you use on your pedal board? Comment below, what's your setup? Do you even use pedals, or is it just clean and then amp distortion depending on what you're doing? If you do enjoy these videos, it would massively help if you could click on that subscribe button, and then you'll get notifications when I upload new videos. I try to do that weekly if at all possible, and it also really helps out the channel. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.